Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies Hustle Vidcast. And today I'm joined by Phillies updates from Instagram.
What's going on, everybody? Just here to talk Phillies. I know everybody can't wait to listen to this. It's going to be a lot to talk about.
Yes, there is. And the Phillies lost 5-1 to the San Francisco Giants tonight. The offense wasn't there, and the pitching just wasn't there either. But I think the offense is probably the worst thing that happened tonight. And, you can only push across one run, kind of disappointing. Pick it up, top of the sixth. Buster Posey, it's a 2-run shot. It's 2-0, and then Sandoval hit a home run to right. And then Pilar, it's all in the same inning. Pilar hit a 2-run shot, and that's 5-0. And then Adam Paisley grounded out to Brandon Crawford, and Harper scored. And it's 5-1. The necessary ball game would end 5-1. Your final score. Before we review the box score, we'll dive deep into it after I review the box score and the pitching stuff. But just maybe a little quick summary, a little preview of what we're going to talk about later. How do you feel about tonight's game?
A lot of things could have happened early on, considering that we had a lot of chances to score. Early in this game, Vince Velasquez was dealing. He was dealing through 5 innings. He was looking strong tonight. His fastball could have had better command, but he was definitely, dealing with that high fastball, getting a lot of guys to chase. It's just always runners in scoring position, or just, capitalizing on the little things that we always do. Whether we get someone on first base, we get them over to second. We had chances with guys second, third. We even had a chance late in the game, 5-0 or 5-1. We had a chance. We had second and third late game, and we only were able to get one run in. It's just everything when it comes to guys.
Fundamental baseball.
Guys just like to sit and watch, huh?
Fundamental baseball.
Pretty much, and guys just like to sit and watch and go deep in the counts, and it's just like it's just a lot. You can go into a lot of detail with this offense. It's crazy how they just go from one night. Let's take an example from the Braves game where we won 9-4. We had, what was that, 3 or 4 home runs, something like that.
And like that.
It was like
we scored like 7 runs, didn't we?
Grand slam.
No. Was that the final game? Was that the final game of the series?
Yeah, it was the final game of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have games like that, the breakout game. You're not going to always have players that hit 4 home runs, but after that, Reese had a 2-run shot that game to give us insurance. And then the next day, game 1. Reese had a 2-run home run. He's breaking into his little hot streak. Guys just got to find a way to make it an everyday thing, whether it's contributing with 1 or 2 hits, getting that occasional clutch hit. That's why it's good that we got Corey Dickerson in this. That dude's pretty electric with his bat. He's a hot bat right now, even though people say the guy's injury prone and all that. This guy is a hot bat right now, and he's a great hitter. He's hitting above 300 this season. He's going to be someone that hopefully can, fill in that leadoff hole. We've struggled with everyone who's let off. Gene couldn't do it. Cesar struggled all season. Scott is now falling under that category. We got to find a guy that can consistently lead off for us this season. They even tried I think real quick, surely they had Bryce do it.
Yeah.
I think Bryce did it, or he did it at least for a game, and then he batted second.
Yeah, I think remember that 3-game series against Miami? They did it all 3 games in that series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he didn't do bad.
Offenses can't be asleep like that, and that's what makes us worse than the Braves, because the Braves can continue that. They can continue to show up for their pitcher. They can continue this. They can get those 5 runs. They can get the runs they need. Say their pitcher lets up 4 runs and they're down by 2. They can get that no problem.
Yeah.
You have such a deep lineup.
Mm-hmm.
We had a deep lineup into the season, and it was just the injuries that cost it for us.
I know.
A lot of people don't think that. Everyone just blames the pitching. This offense is a huge problem. It's what makes us a good team.
That is so true, and I totally agree with him on that. Now let's review the box score for tonight's game. Cesar Hernandez was in the leadoff spot tonight. Capper decided to switch up the lineup a little bit. We'll talk about that after I review it. 1 for 4 for Cesar. Segura starting to get a little hot. 2 for 4. Got his average up to 287. Rhys Hoskins 0 for 4. Bryce 0 for 2 with 2 walks. JT 1 for 4. Had a nice line drive. He's probably had the hardest hit tonight for the Phillies. 0 for 4.
Nice double in the cap.
Yeah, he did. It was nice. Scott Kingery 0 for 4. Phillies Updates has an interesting stat to say about Scott Kingery after I review this. Adam Hazley 0 for 3. Michael Franco 1 for 3, Vin Velasquez 0 for 2, and Roman Quinn 0 for 1. Vince Velasquez went 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Adam Morgan, a third of an inning, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs given up. And as Phillies Updates was saying, he was probably our most reliable pitcher going into this, during like the midpoint of the season. And ever since he's got hurt, he just hasn't been the same. Mike Warren, 1 2/3, 3 strikeouts. Hector Neris obviously lost his suspension case, so I guess Copper just decided to just throw him out there before he gets suspended. It's effective tomorrow. He pitched an inning, struck out 1. Zach Eflin kind of got in some trouble. Pitched an inning, 1 hit. He struck out 2 and walked 2. So that's your ball game, 5-1. San Francisco. Vin Velasquez gets the loss. He is now 3-6, and Justin Marja gets the win. He is 8-8. So that is it for the game's sake. So I want to talk a little about Scott Kingery. He's struggling a little bit. So Phillies Updates, do you have that little stat sheet?
Yeah, so after tonight, Scott Kingery went 0 for 3. He is now hitting 194 in the month of July, going 19 for 98 in at-bats. His season average has dropped dramatically from hitting 313 to 270 over the stretch.
Yeah, it's been ugly.
It's not looking. It's been going bad for him. He just, everybody goes through these slumps. He was one guy the Phillies focused on finding everyday play for him, finding a way to fit him into the order, whether it was putting him at third, center field, giving Segura or giving Cesar the occasional night off. They try to find any way they can to fit him into this order. He is an everyday player, so they have to do what they can. Certainly sucks. We need him. He is a guy that we depend on, or that we would like to at least depend on for the occasional RBI, home run. He was certainly hot, had a hot bat, especially going into that Dodgers series.
He did.
Home run off of Clayton Kershaw and then off Walker Buehler.
2 nights in a row.
He certainly was dominating.
Like as you said, he showed a little bit of success in that time span. He just couldn't keep it going. And Bryce Harper I think he hit 265 in the month of July, which is an improvement over, I think he hit 250 last month. So, but he hasn't really done a whole lot since the All-Star break. The power numbers have been down. But the RBI total is there, and I keep saying this a lot. If he can get his average up to around 260, 270, I don't think he's going to get to 270. I think it's over 260 with 25 to 30 home runs. He'll break his career having RBIs, over 100 walks. It's not a bad first year in Philly, but it's not what the expectations are, and it's not worth $25 million a year. But we're going to talk a little bit about Bryce Harper here. Phillies Updates obviously went into the season. What did you think about Bryce Harper?
What I had, so my original prediction was he was going to hit, I had him hitting just over 270. I had a 35 home run, 98 RBI, and a 903 OPS prediction. I didn't think he was going to jump out and be this, all-star player himself. He's in a new stadium, new team, new environment. This is a stadium that he was familiar on the road and that he performed well in the road against the Phillies. But now being here, 81 games, trying to get used to, the ballpark, the environment, everything else. This is a hitter-friendly ballpark, so we did expect him to, swing the bat better, get the ball out easier. Certainly showing heart on the field, he stretches any single into a double that he can get most players wouldn't do. He has 30-plus doubles on the year. He has 18 home runs. I don't know his exact RBIs. I know it's in maybe the high
72
by now, but I do 72. Okay, so he has 72 RBIs and 72 walks. He's having the average player season, which people are jumping on him for. And no one wants to hate on him, but it's like, what do you think? Do you think that this is an okay season to have? With everything on your shoulders? No.
Right.
But, my personal thought was that he wasn't going to do anything crazy until his second year on this team. That's pretty much where I sat at.
And I don't know if you put this on your story or someone put it. I mean, the fact that he's also going to be a father, I think, is also, it's got to be hard on you mentally. Do you agree with that somewhat?
Oh yeah, you're gonna be a dad soon. I'm pretty sure his wife is due. And when was that announced?
August.
That was announced
March. It was announced in March.
So that's next June, something like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's not heavy on his mind now, but it's certainly there. You're going to be a dad soon. There's probably a lot going around in his mind, but he loves the game of baseball. This is what he does. I'm sure it's not. He doesn't have all these emotions.
Right.
I'm sure all he wants to do is go out there and do his best for his team. You saw his energy with his walk-off double. You see how passionate he is whenever he does something good. Whenever he hits a home run. All he wants to do is be good for us, and all he wants to do is win. I'm sure he's hungry for the playoffs. He said it himself the other night in an interview that he knows that we can make a playoff push. He knows that we can make a playoff, that we can be in the playoffs. Now, from fans looking in, we watch the games every night, and we see a lot of weaknesses when it comes to, our starting rotation, which I honestly think that I thought the trade line was good. I'm not going to say it was great. I'm not going to say it was bad. I say it was good. Matt Klentak made amazing points in his interview in the booth. There's times where you want to empty some farm players, for that, good player that you want. Everybody was saying they wanted Zach Greinke. He would have cost a lot, in my opinion. You see where he went and what he went for. Yeah. People wanted Mike Minor. I'm surprised he wasn't dealt. They wanted Madison Bumgarner. He wasn't dealt. People would listen to all the names you can think of, and I think that having Nola, Jake, Jason Vargas, who had a great year with the Mets, he was their ace at one point. That shows a lot with how that rotation was struggling because there's a lot of good names in there.
Yeah. But
for him to pick it up and do a great job, the guy's got under a 4 ERA, and I believe he has. I don't know how many exact wins he has. I know
it's like around 500.
Good, but
yeah.
So people were just saying, "Oh, we never got pitchers. We never did this." Look at Drew Smiley. I'm sure for a fact, as soon as Drew Smiley has a bad game, they write him off. He's had 2 Cliff Lee type starts, and I'm for sure if he has a bad game, his next start, they will write him off quicker than anything. They'll say, "Oh, Matt Klentak, you suck," or "Gabe, you suck," or whatever. They'll just go right at our management and front office.
Yeah,
I think that they did a really good job with picking up these 2 left-handed. It gives us variety too against teams like the Dodgers or a left-handed lineup.
Left-handed,
having Drew Smiley there.
I like
and adding what's it called? Adding Vince and not Vince, Eflin and Pip to the pen just gives us more depth.
It does, and Warren and Warren, guys like that. Nice pickup.
Yeah, he did great tonight. That man did a great job. He did a great job after coming in for.
Yeah, he did.
So he did good.
So next topic of discussion. Well, we're gonna just stick with one last thing about Bryce Harper. Then we're gonna talk about the trade deadline, the Phillies. And we talked a little about Corey Dickerson and Jason Vargas. We're gonna talk about that again. But one last thing about Bryce Harper. No, I think the fans would like to know about this. Do you think – I think some fans are getting discouraged. Obviously, he had a down year in 2016, and he came back next year and had a good year. Do you think that he will have in his tenure in Philadelphia, do you think he will have at least 3 great seasons of 40-plus home runs and MVP-type seasons and all-star seasons?
Well, showing from his past resume, reason why he earned the $330 million, in my opinion, is we paid him for – the great years that he's had in Washington, D.C. I think over that now 10, 13 years, that's a long time. So surely a player of his caliber can definitely, get to his prime. When he averages, I checked this earlier in the year, he has averaged in his career 32 home runs a season. Obviously he hasn't hit that every year, but he is, that number averages out to around 32 home runs a year from what I remember seeing. He definitely can have maybe another 40 home run, maybe 240 home run seasons with the great ballpark he's in. He can go on that hot streak. He can do that. He can get maybe 100 RBIs depending on where he's put in our lineup and the protection that he has. I think that he can definitely have he can have a few great years. He's going to have I'm sure he's going to have all good years on this team. There might be that one bad year, where he's not feeling it. It's certainly not this year. He's doing average. He's doing good.
He's not doing bad.
There's a lot. He's not doing bad. There's a lot of good we can say. The doubles are good. The walks are good.
OBP.
The ball. The home runs, they want more. They just want more home runs.
Yeah,
and then I realized, yes, he's a power hitter, but he also can hit for contact. They got to realize that too.
He can, yeah, and like
but I certainly think we have a lot of good years here.
And if this guy was not getting paid $25 million a year, I don't think that people wouldn't be saying a word about this guy. They actually considered him to be a good player. Do you agree with that?
No, and I don't think it would change the way he played. I don't think it's really changed. Yes, he's not having his career season.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's changed him. I think it's just a new environment, and he's just taking longer to settle in. We saw Nola with a new contract, a new team, a new catcher. Catcher relationship's important. You saw him struggle off the spot, and he couldn't find himself. But now I think that him and JT know each other well enough and have learned, and JT has learned him. So he calls a great game whenever he's out there, and Noah's now doing amazing.
He is.
And he's back to being our ace pitcher.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he really has been. He's probably been our most reliable pitcher in the in the starting rotation. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Obviously, moving on from Harper. Obviously, we talked a little about Corey Dickerson. We've struggled since we lost McCutchen for the rest of the season. As you said, maybe you could slide Dickerson into that leadoff spot. What do you think that he's going to provide at the top of the lineup? I think he's going to be very productive. Do you agree with that?
I think he's going to be really productive, and he's going to see the ball well. He's already been seeing it well this season with the Pirates. The dude's just going to come here and try and do his best, to provide and to help us and do the best that he can. I haven't sat there and watched him all season, obviously, just going off what I saw today and what I've seen, when we were playing against him and what I've just from randomly watching. The guy can hit, and the guy is very good at contact. He's batted well over 300, and I think that he's just going to provide that missing. I hope he can provide that missing piece Andrew McCutchen had. I don't know if we're going to ever find that. We can't keep looking at that as, I know when he's been going, everyone's like, oh, Andrew McCutchen. But I think Matt did a great job, looking around. He found a guy who has amazing defense. He's a Gold Glover, so you already know right there, big upgrade because Jay Bruce is now gone.
Yeah.
Due to injury, and now you can have a guy like Corey Dickerson who has a great bat and a great, defensive side. Unlike Jay Bruce, who provided that good bat for us, he just was a little, on the older, heavy side in the outfield, so he probably wasn't the best athletic. He did what he could, and he did a great job out there. But now we have a guy who has that Gold Glove experience that really can help us with defense out there.
That is true, and I'm really excited about Corey Dickerson coming to Philadelphia. Now, we're going to talk next about Jason Vargas, and then we'll talk about the divisional standings, how we think will play out, and then we'll have our closing thoughts. So let's talk about Jason Vargas. The Phillies acquired him from the New York Mets. I believe it was 2 or 3 days ago. We got cash, and we also sent over some double-A catcher who's hitting like 190. So kind of, we didn't really give that much up for him. So how do you feel about the Jason Vargas trade? I know you talked a little bit about it. I really like it a lot. Not the top of my list, but does not hurt the rotation. As you said, putting F on the bullpen definitely adds depth. How do you feel about the Jason Vargas acquisition?
I think it was good, and sending over Austin Bozart, he's already struggling in Double-A ball, so we pretty much got him for nothing.
Right.
We pretty much got him, for sending over nothing to the Mets. Again, Jason Vargas has had a great career season. Only being why I'm excited is seeing how good he's done for the Mets and how much he stepped up for the Mets at his age, being 36 years old.
Yeah.
Most teams will just sign off on guys like that. And even though he's not the fastest pitcher and he doesn't have the best, the highest speed, that guy can locate. He can dominate you with his off speed. He can dominate you with that occasional, 86 mile per hour fastball. His location's good. Every time he's played the Phillies, and I know this guy, and the only reason I hated going against him is because he dominated us every time he faced us. We always made Jason Vargas look like that ace. We always made him look good, and I just hope that, him coming into a friendly hitter ballpark, he can continue to, pitch lights out, pitch the way he's been pitching, and continue to shutting batters down.
Right.
In his last few starts, he's averaged 3 or less runs, and that's good because we need pitchers like that, especially in the park that we're in and the teams that we're going to be going against. We need to be able to have our pitchers allowing less runs so our offense can actually stand a chance when they want to show up.
Yeah.
But getting him, people don't realize I think it's going to work out very well for us in the long run going into this divisional run.
Yeah, I definitely am with you on that. So I think we feel the same feelings about that. So we're kind of running a little low on my battery life here, so it's got to kind of make it quick. How do you feel about the division standings here? We currently sit a half game behind Washington, and how many games back we are from the Braves?
We are, where is it? 7 games officially now behind the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah. So how do you feel? Obviously, I believe the Braves will win the division, but I think it's a toss-up who finishes in second. Do you agree?
I think it certainly can be a toss-up. Let me see if I get the wild card up. There you go. So I definitely think it can be a toss-up. Do I think we're completely out of this divisional run? I don't think we are officially out. What I want to focus on is getting to the wild card. Now, tonight we failed at that. We failed at getting into second place and getting us into the top spot for the wild card. We are still a half game back. It's really up to how we can play against this next stretch. We have one more game against the Giants that we have to win to take 2 of 3. We have the Chicago White Sox next, which I want to sweep. If we can sweep them, we are looking to be in good position if the Atlanta Braves and the Washington Nationals can either lose a few or lose the series.
Right.
Lose the series. Whether it's like the Braves were doing us a favor in the series by beating the Nationals, and we could not capitalize.
Yep.
The Mets, I'm seeing them 11 games out of the division, but only 5 out of the wild card. Could they make a run? They could try and squeeze in there. I'm not too worried about them right now. They're not my main focus. I'm trying to get up to the Nationals. And after seeing what the Nationals did, adding 3 relievers, they are now very deep in that bullpen. So who knows what kind of damage they can now do without blowing games. I just got to say, wild card first, division later. We got to think about one step at a time, get into that wild card, and then make the run.
That is true. So I'm only at 2% here, so let's just wrap it up right now. Do we win tomorrow? Just can we make this a little quick?
Yeah, I say we definitely can win tomorrow. Jake's on the mound. Not sure who they got, but I think Jake's going to have himself a good day. Corey Dickerson's going to be playing with us, so we could have ourselves a good day tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. So Phillies updates. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I really hope we could do this in the future. Phillies updates Instagram will be in the link in the description below. Please go give him a follow. He's by far the best guy on Instagram for Phillies news. So please just go give him a follow. He's a great guy. So please show him the support. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I really enjoyed talking baseball with you.
Yeah, me too, dude. I always enjoy talking baseball with everybody. I'm definitely going to do this again soon.
Great, man. Yeah, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Social media link in the description below. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you all for 100 subscribers, by the way. Video will be out tomorrow to thank everyone, kind of just talk about the history of my channel and stuff like that. So the Phillies lose 5-1. They will be back tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Luke, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.